G'day, Steve Morgan, Australian Bass Tournaments with the winner of the 2025 Samaki BREAM Queensland Open, Luke Rogan. High fives.
Cheers.
First time.
Yeah, first time.
First time with the name on Jeff.
Yes.
That's his name, Jeff. You get to keep him for 1 year,
Yep.
then you get to bring him back and see if you can win him again. Now, you had to hold Jeff up for a photograph.
Yeah.
How heavy's Jeff?
He's quite heavy.
He's made of bronze.
Yeah, he's solid.
If you ever get attacked on the way back out to your boat, hit him on the head with Jeff, and they'll definitely have a caved-in skull, mate.
Definitely.
This Open, the story was all your performance on day one. Let's just run through your stats. Day one, 5 fish. This is a ridiculous Gold Coast bag, 4.676 kilos. Day two, 5 fish for a very mediocre Moreton Bay bag of 2.114 kilos. Gave you 6.7 kilos, and you were about 600 grams ahead of Bernard Kong in second place. Now, let's talk about that day one bag. I think that's about the second heaviest bag we've ever weighed in an ABT on the Gold Coast. Jamie McEwen won 5 or 6 years ago with a 4.4 kilo bag on day two. I think it was Jay Morgan weighed 4.77 once. So it is right up there. And that big bream you caught, a 40.5 forker, I think that's the second biggest bream we've weighed on the Gold Coast. Steve Chenoweth in the year, I think 2000 or 2001, caught a 1.54. That one there was about 1.48 or something like that.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
it was, in
close.
both cases, you were skimming the record. So congratulations.
Cheers. Yeah, it was good.
Take us through your everyone knows that you always do well fishing Sovereign, but this time Sovereign delivered for you. Take us through the day one.
So day one, I just went and obviously I've got a milk run at Sovereign, and I just kind of went out to the outside edges, fished some spots, didn't really get much, and then I moved to one spot and they were just
loaded,
like just
yeah.
If it wasn't a big one, it was a little one, and it was just spoofing everywhere. So
yeah.
I was like,
they must pre-sport. They reckon they all aggregate there to spawn.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah, I think I caught a 35 or something like that. Well, first cast I got absolutely dusted.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Retied every single time. Tied a brand new one on. Chucked it back out, and like probably 3 or 4 casts after that, so I got a 35.
Which is just under a kilo.
Yes.
So that's normally a Gold Coast kicker, isn't it?
That's right, like a 35 forker, like, so I don't know what
That's
that is.
like 900 grams.
That's right, it's 900 grams. So normally I'm kind of like cheering if I've got a bag of them.
Yep.
And then, yeah, a couple casts later, I caught a GT.
Yep.
And I thought it might have been a bream after catching the 35. And then I got it up and it was a GT, and I was like, oh, same deal. Cut the lure off, tied another one on, brand new one on, out she went, literally like next cast. It was that big one, it just went bang, and I went, oh, not another GT. So I just cranked it in.
Yeah.
Got it to like, till I could see it, because obviously silver, big.
Yeah.
I was like, the whole time I thought it was a GT.
Yeah.
And then
until you see it right at the end, you're like, ah!
it was just a big white bream, and I was like, oh, net it, and I got him. He'd crushed all but one treble
Of the treble thing.
on the crank crab.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's holding on by one little treble,
Literally
and
just
you were
had-
into him.
I was like poling him, and
What sort of rod do you use, and what braid leader combo?
I got an edge rod. I'm trying to think which one I hooked that on. It was actually my lighter rods. I found my lighter rods yesterday. I didn't pull the hooks.
Yep.
So you get into them, and you still have to give them some to get them out of the structure-y sort of stuff, and like
Kept the hooks in them.
kept the hooks in pretty much, so that I could give them, because the rod obviously has that
Bit of give.
to it.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of swapping and changing until I worked that out.
What braid leader?
Torre, I think it's, I can't think what type of Torre it is, but it's Torre. I think it's 12 pound.
12 pound. And what sort of leader?
Leader is 8 pound. I think it was just.
So it's not finesse gear.
No.
It's
like,
heavy braid,
Yep.
heavy leader.
That's right.
Get into them. Hope the soft rod doesn't pull the hooks out.
Pretty much. And then towards the end of the day, I had 14 leader on.
Wow.
Yep. Same deal. I had the Torre. I think it's extra hard. I think it's called.
Yep.
It's just like I use it down at Foster, and it's like
It's the gear.
it's hard. Yeah.
Well, your smallest fish on day one was about 31, 32 centimetres.
Yep.
So it was a great bag, as I said, 4.676 kilos. By contrast, today in Moreton Bay, your best fish was 28 centimetres and your worst one was 26.5. So, you've, I suppose, caught the full spectrum all on the way through.
That's right.
Take us through your, day one. Firstly, you pull a new one out every time.
Yep.
Crank a crab. We've seen this many times in ABT interviews. That's the heavy olive. How many crabs you go through?
About 20.
That's a lot of crabs. but $5,000 buys a lot of crabs. So you're right. And was that the only lure in the canals, or did you use?
In the canals, I was crankbaiting with one of these.
So you throw this at the pontoon as well. So
Yep.
you caught the two big ones on crabs.
Yep.
But
and then I caught some. Obviously, I was just like I said, I got a milk run inside and outside. So
yep.
I'd go in, then I'd come back out, go in, come back out.
Using crabs on the outside, these on the inside.
Yep, and bent minnows on the outside as well.
Yep. Okay, so you mix it up between the two. This is a duo. This is an MR52, a duo Realis, and I think Wilson's are actually bringing out a whole new range of colours in these. So you were saying they were getting to be hard to get again.
Yep.
They'll be easy to get after because you're going to be able to get hold of one. Bent minnow, hard to go past the old peach face, isn't it?
Yep.
So there you go. That is actually that one there is not one of the ones you used, but those hooks would have copped a hiding just like that.
They probably look worse than that.
The peach face bent, it's pretty much a standard all the way from Bem River to Gladstone. I think fish love it. Tell us about your day two. Day one, you were leading by over a kilo, I suppose. How nervous were you going out on day two? Is it hard to defend? Is it better or worse to be leading by that much?
Well, I would have thought that bag that I got on day one would have been what I was going to get on day two. Not the and like the 2 kilo bag might have been the Gold Coast, to be honest truth. And I was like, when I got that big bag, I was like, oh.
Going to go right tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be...
Another 4 kegs.
Yeah, another 4 kegs and I'll be laughing, you know?
Yep.
But it just sort of didn't really come together. I just did the milk run, same deal.
Well, take us through the milk run. What's the standard day for you fishing Moreton Bay?
Well, depending on what the tide's doing. I'm very tide dependent, so I like to hit it at the right spots and the right time.
And we started basically right on the bottom of the tide.
Yep, that's right. And I think when I went out to the wall at Brisbane River,
mouth of the Brizzy, the rock wall.
Yeah, rock wall. Just got some spots along there that I like to fish. Hit that for the first probably hour or maybe half an hour. Wasn't like there was just nothing. It was like it was dead.
Feeling dead.
There's normally bait and everything, all sorts of stuff going on there, and I was like, well, this is not good. And I started throwing the bent minnow around. I got a couple of decent fish rise on it, but they just wouldn't eat it. And I was like, just felt dead. So I was like, all right,
get out of here.
Get out of here. Go chase a bag. So I went to the poo chute.
The luggage point.
Yes.
Treated water pipe.
Yes, it's
not the poo chute. The treated water pipe. It doesn't smell like it's Evian mineral water.
No, you could drink it definitely if you wanted to die.
Yes, that's right. So So it's been a 4 kilo bags have come there over the years.
That's right. I've caught massive bags there myself. So I was like, well,
it's transient, isn't it? It's like the fish, they're either moving through there and you catch them, or the locals are all this big.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what happened at the chute?
So I just went there first. I started throwing a crank crab, but I couldn't get anything on the crank crab. So I ended up, I did throw on I just started throwing little plastics.
Yep.
And one of them repilers, I know Mick uses it as well, the shad.
The jerk?
The jerk. I threw the jerk in. As soon as I threw that in, it just didn't even get to the bottom. It just took off. Yeah. And I think that was my biggest fish for the day.
The 28, the kicker.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, if they can all be like this. And so I just kept fishing. Obviously I got my whole bag there. So I was like, okay, I've got my bag.
Yep.
Now it's time to upgrade. Literally, as I was putting that last fish in the onto the app, somebody decided to come in and cast net right next to me for bait.
Oh, really? So
they didn't even give me the courtesy, and I was like, well, maybe that's just saying something.
Yeah, you know? Telling you to get out of there.
That's right, telling me to get out of there. I've caught my bag. That's what I wanted to do there, and then I went back out to the wall, and I persisted with my spots because I've caught fish there. We've caught 4.5 kilo bags there. I think 4.7 kilos we've caught there before. Yeah. So I was like, well, just stick it out. And then I realised after a while it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So same deal. Went straight over to mud, got the last
bit of the run in.
Last bit of the run in.
Yep.
Fished some edges that I like to fish. I got some upgrades there. I upgraded my smallest couple of fish that I had. I lost a couple of good ones. Just as we got the live call. Yep. I put a cast out and got the old dunk dunk, and then it was just all I got back was like a tangled mess.
Yes, the lure had been in its mouth.
Yep.
And out again.
Yep, had been out, twisted, all done, and I was just like, oh shit, anyways, kept going. Got to another point, last casted out, donk, and I was like, oh, here we go. That's the one I wanted. Could see like a big silver flank, and I was like, yes, that's it. And then got it in, it was a giant dart.
A swallowtail dart.
Yeah.
It's funny what the bay produces. There's
Yeah.
30 different species you can jump on in
Yeah.
Moreton Bay, and it just today wasn't big bream, but it didn't matter today. So the win, $5,000. You get to take Jeff home for the year. Nice big novelty check. First place badge. Don't get any better than that, does it?
No, well, I've come so close so many times. It's just
You probably got all places in the top 5 except first.
pretty much.
All right. So you get to keep Jeff for the year there, and get to be the defending title holder next year. That's I'm sure you're going to be signing up and having to go next year.
Yeah, I might actually pre-fish this time.
You might hurt yourself pre-fishing.
Maybe. I don't know.
So yeah, you didn't pre-fish on the practice day, did you? You went to work.
Yeah, I haven't fished for bream for about 3 weeks, 4
Yep.
weeks. So
Oh well, just like riding a bike, mate.
I just enjoy it more that way.
Anyone you want to thank for the for your win? I know you looked after by Shorty and the OS
Fish Tech
Fish Tech
Solutions.
guys.
Yep. No, they look after me. I'm very thankful for them looking after me. Obviously, my wife. She lets me do cool stuff.
How much of the $5,000 are you going to get?
Just depends.
She's sitting behind the camera here, by the way.
Depends how nice she is. It just goes back into the kitty, and this means that I get to go do more comps.
Yep. When you say, "Can I fish the Queensland Open next year?" the answer is big thumbs up right there.
That's right.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. I heard the kayakers were trying to claim you before, saying, "Good to see a kayak guy win the boat event," but I had to tell them, you've been fishing boat events for a long time now.
I have.
And you finally got the Queensland Open under the belt.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll see you. See if you can defend this title next year. 2025 Samaki BREAM Queensland Open. Over.